Oshogbo land, and Ifa priest, and of course, it's many things when it has to do with culture. Thank you, sir, for being here. Yes, sir. And, you know, still speaking about tradition and culture, let's look at it in the realm of our contemporary times right now. The nation Nigeria is going through a lot of challenges. Economic challenges, religious challenges, security challenges. Sir, what is the problem of this nation, Nigeria? What is our issue? Why is the nation not prospering the way it should be prospering?
Thank you very much. Traditionally, there used to be a way to administrate the town. Each town has a place to protect insecurity. It is a duty of Oba of the town to have Ifa for the town. Each time a calamity problem arises, that Ifa is going to be consult. And each town also have Balogun, Jagun in olden days, that they are the warrior, they are militant, and they must appease Opaogun to prevent war being enter the city. This has to be done periodically, time to time. That is to protect the town. But nowadays that we have been exposed to modernization, Christianization, nothing done like that. Only a few towns did it. That is why we have a lot of insecurity nowadays.
Yeah, and you know, you have started with insecurity right now. You have pinpointed that. Recently, last week, some terrorist suspects were arrested in Ilesha. Some terrorist suspects were arrested, you know, in Modakeke. And we are not just talking about thieves. We are not talking about people that steal cow and fowl and all of those things. Terrorists, they were apprehended where they were being trained on how to construct bombs in Osun State. Are you concerned about the security of the people in Osun State?
I take, for example, in Oshogbo, the present king, it takes a lot of responsibility to protect the town from being attacked, from being invaded by all that kind of criminal activities. He's always did all what he's supposed to do in terms of consultation, making effort, and do everything to. That is, it is part of the prayer that answer that make them arrested. If the prayer is not answered, you may not know when the criminal or invaders enter the town. Nobody know, and they started their activities. But once they have been exposed, it's a kind of prayer answers.
Prayer answer.
Then it will be called.
So, in this case, you are saying every traditional ruler has a responsibility in their own domain.
Yes, they do. They must. Otherwise, that is part of their function. Otherwise, they are useless.
Now, these traditional rites and sacrifices and prayers for the protection and safety of a domain, apart from the Oba, the people in government, do they have a function to do that as well?
Because the system, the kind of system we operate, they don't include tradition into their system in Nigeria. Other nations, they have traditional. Take, for example, January is a new year. There are some nations that invite Ifa priests to do the consultation, what year ahead is going to be, what sacrifice need to, and before they embark on an important project or decision, they seek opinion of Ifa. Can we do this? Can we do that? But it was unfortunate that the kind of system that Nigerians operate, they do not have that in their system.
Why?
Even the British that we say that we are copying, we are emulate. The British have their own culture, and they follow it. It is own. Take a look at India. The same British people that colonized Nigeria, they are the same colonized India. But India does not take British religion, British language, British culture. But we, Nigeria, we take British language, British culture, British religion. Take a look at what India had been achieved, and take a look into us in Nigeria.
Yeah, let's leave that and talk about our economy. Inflation as is skyrocketing. In fact, in December, it's reached another height. Our economy, as a traditional Ifa priest, sir, what can we do about Nigeria's economy?
Well,
so that prosperity will return.
I would have said, in terms of inflation, hungry, scarcity of money, scarcity of food, it is a responsible of the government and community individually.
How?
A lot of us refuse to farm. We hate to go to the farm. Take a look on the situation in Nigeria now. All the onion, beans, yams are produced by non-Dana. They ship it to us. We don't have what we produce and send to them. This food, if you have food, I have food. I don't need to depend or rely on you. If they have, if it is albosha, they have, and we have yam. If it is area, they have, and we have other. It will be, but by the time we allow them to grow all the food stuff, and we don't do nothing, and we cry for the hungry. And there's a lot of something happen. Ever since, I have never seen government in this part of country, each year, and this budget for agriculture, and I've never seen what they use that money to produce. Every year they say this amount is going to be for the agriculture. Go to the United States. Every time you see fresh okra, fresh in a store. Here, no.
But there are people selling in the market.
It's not much. We need more, even more than what we need. That will make us satisfied. The little thing you see on the market is not enough.
Now, we are talking to culture and tradition right now. We'll get to other part. You made mention of prayers the other time. You made mention of sacrifice. And these days, it has always been. You see sacrifice at junctions, T-junctions, some places, and people are afraid. People run back. Some of them will be, shouting and praying whatever form that they want. Sacrifices, are they bad? Are they good?
Sacrifice is essential. Sacrifice is propitiation. It's a remedy to all human problems. It is other foreign culture that make us hate to perform the sacrifice. Despite the other foreign culture have their way of making sacrifice differently.
Please explain, sir. Explain, sir.
Take for example, in the Bible they say they burn a sheep and the smoke go straight to the heaven in Genesis. It says not that the sacrifice. Each time the Muslim go to perform the Mecca, the millions of ram is killed. That's not a sacrifice. But once in Yoruba land, a Shango priest has to offer a ram to Shango, that is going to be controversy. we need to agree that all the religion need to be allowed to be function and perform their right equally. So, just like they used to say, Ejele go begun, Olosa bosa, Onisan go bosogo, Kolosun bosun. So that's what we need.
But why? You have made mention that Christians have their own way of making their sacrifice, Muslims have their own way of making their sacrifice, granted, but some of these religions you mentioned will not take it in front of people's house. They won't take it to junctions. Why does the traditional worshippers carry their own sacrifice to junctions?
What happens?
Where everybody will pass.
The location that you make mention, that is what domain of spirit. If the Ajogun, warrior against man, the crossroad, road path, back of the street, those are a place where the warrior against man located. That is why before they take sacrifice to the crossroad, they will ask if it is a sacrifice. Sometimes it's a lake of the river, sometimes on mountain. It depends. Those are the domain of evil spirits, to allow them to leave us alone. The deposit sacrifice there, they leave a human being alone.
So these sacrifices that are dropped in these domains that you talked about, if there is somebody coming and is not part of that sacrifice, what happens to that person?
That you have, if you don't have hand on the person that make the sacrifice, there's nothing concern you. Go free. When they take sacrifice to a crossroad you are passing through, you are not the enemy of the person. You are not responsible for the problem of the person. There's nothing going to affect you.
Is that the way it works?
No, nothing is not going to affect you.
But in books, in Nigerian movies, you are an actor yourself. You've seen the way they present it. The moment you are passing and you see it with your eyes, or you are the first person to run along, that they believe an evil will happen to you. Is that wrong?
You are right. I used to see, you know, take a look into all of our movie maker. There's a lot of misinformation, the wrong information they give us. We are trying to correct them. We have been calling them to a meeting. There's a lot of wrong information they give us. You cannot be affiliated with a spirit if you are not a bad person. You don't responsible for the problem of the person. The person that did the sacrifice maybe is sick. He wants to get relief. How come you get affected if you don't have hand in it? The spirit that will take the sacrifice, the food they provide for him, take it and leave the person alone. What has to do with no person?
But that's what we see, because they will say the first person to pass will be the one to carry that problem. That's what they say.
So they give us wrong information.
So that's wrong.
They misdirect us.
Quickly, because we are running off quickly now, we are talking about culture and tradition. And where does he appear? Like when you talk about traditional worship, then people are afraid. People see it as being evil. The moment you see somebody having, the beads on your neck, very beautiful, the beads on your, on your hands, on your leg, and that person carries sacrifice or is wearing a particular clothes, people don't want to associate with them because they believe, oh, if I shake this person, something evil will happen. That's what we read. That's what we see. Why is traditional worship associated with evil?
Yes, traditional people has nothing to do with the blackmailing them.
Who?
The military of Crusader, the Muslim, the Christian. What they preach every time is anything has to do with tradition is evil, it's bad. That's what people hear on the radio, on television, every day. Innocent people who has nothing to do with, even to use the black soap, which has contained no leaf, no root. If you give it to some, they get scared.
Yes.
Oshedudu.
Yes.
The Oshedudu. Is it not going to everything? They blackmail it. That is the wrong thing that this modern religion have been doing in our society.
But the people who, I said it the other time, you are a movie person, you are an actor, I've seen you in a couple of movies. What are you doing about it? Because the movie makers, they are not representing Christians, they are not representing Muslims, they are just churning out their movies. And this is what they are portraying. What are you doing about it?
About 3 months ago, we called all the producer, all the cinema people to a meeting in Ibadan.
Okay.
And we're still going to have another meeting with them this year. We have been working on it to give them the correct information. They are misguided us.
All right. Quickly, money ritual. Is it real?
Money ritual. I used to say that they say Ogun Owo. I say there is Ogun Owo.
Okay.
There's a money ritual. And I say, okay, take for example, part of the Ogun Owo is what you are doing now. You are at your business. At the end of the month, they pay you the salary.
So this that I'm doing,
that is
my own Ogun Owo. Okay.
That is your Ogun Owo.
Right.
Because if you don't do work, if you don't work, you're not going to get the money. The Ogun Owo that is not available is to say something we have to drop money instantly. Every day you go to a calabash, you count money every day. I used to call it Abamoda.
What's Abamoda?
Abamoda is I say this to happen and it's happen. And once it's happened in once, it stop. In your presence now, I say, okay, open this cup. You find money. You say, oh, this is the money. This is the money. For a while, it's tough. It's not permanent. Because I command it. I use something to command it.
But you can repeat it. Can you repeat it?
Apamoda.
Okay.
So, have you ever seen those who has used Ogun Owo ever been rich as all those who have legitimate work they are doing?
But we see it, we hear it. On social media, we see it. In movies, we have it. That somebody will go and kill somebody to make money.
That is what
it's herbalists that do it for them.
Yes, that is, last year, about 5 years ago, we have a conference in Johannesburg. I was invited by a group of African Americans in Johannesburg to come to do the lecture. I went there. After the ceremony, we have a party. There's a lot of South African girls there. And I say, one of the young girls, they say, this is Baba Araba from Oshogbo. It's a reputable Babalawo. I said, okay, who among you, this young guy going to follow me to Nigeria to become wife of Araba Akpetebi, wife of Ifa? 2 guys say, we love you, Baba, but we are not going to marry you. I say, why? Say, I don't want you to use me to make ritual money.
Exactly.
I say, where do you get that from? He said, don't you watch African Magic? That's what lady told me in Johannesburg. And I tell all the movie makers here in Nigeria, say, this is what you are created. You give us a bad reputation.
So movie makers...
Not everyone that rich in Nigeria, they are using Ogun Owo. But they present us as anyone that rich, build house, you are using Ogun Owo.
But then, why we agree, you have said, even this that we are doing here is part of making money, granted. But, between you and I, some will say there are extraterrestrial powers that can help people in making money. Is that not
there's a what called Awure.
Okay.
There's what called Oshole. There's nothing wrong making Awure. Any businessman, you enhance more money with Awure.
But that person has to walk first.
You have to walk.
The Oshole part that you are talking
The
about.
Oshole, the same thing. The bigger Awure is called Oshole. It make you triumph, more successful than other.
But you have to kill people, and
you keep walking.
so how about the people that kill people, they cut off the head of people and all of those?
I don't know about that.
Araba doesn't know about that.
It's not part of that. I used to say there's a lot of influence of other nations in this country and their culture that have been among us, like Tapa people, like Ghanaian people. They have been mixed up. Their culture have been mixed up.
Baba, you know how to say that, Chief, because there are some persons that have been caught. Police have apprehended them, or community people have apprehended them because they killed people and they cut off their body part, and they are saying it's their Babalawo that asked them to bring it.
They are not Babalawo.
So who are they?
They are not. We will discover, even if the person, if he call himself Babalawo, you will discover it's not a real Babalawo. You discover it's a fake. You should take a look at their names. Kasim Wakinikan, you will not find a real Babalawo involved in that kind of crime.
All right. As we round off, let me take it back to where we started, sir. There is the concept and people call Abobaku. In modern times, do we still have Abobaku?
No, it has been abolished. It has been abolished.
Why?
Today they don't have it anymore because nobody wants to die.
What's the function of
Abobaku has to die immediately the king died.
What is the function of Abobaku?
The function of Abobaku is it has no function other than to protect the king and enjoy his life to the fullest, and believe anytime the king depart, he's ready to follow him. So that is what it is.
All right. You know, if you check the material we are having, culture of, sightseeing, the Oshogbo Groove, the festivals, the Oju de Oba, the, Olojo, Odun Olojo in Ile-Ife, the Wude in Ijeshaland, and all of those things. These days now, they are being prominent. People are coming from everywhere. People are wearing, you could see the image on our screen, people are wearing beautiful regalia like yourself. Are you happy that culture and tradition is finding its voice?
Yes, I'm very happy. It gives us cultural identity. It makes us proud. It makes us happy. If we stop doing that, that means we don't have identity. So there's nothing wrong to project ourselves the way God makes us as a good person, personality, good person. So there's nothing wrong with it. I'm happy that it is growing.
Growing, yes.
I'm very happy about that.
If there is somebody that says, I want to embrace the Yoruba culture, but I don't want to practice the traditional worship, is he allowed?
Well, we cannot.
I want to eat the food, I want to wear the clothes, I want to do the greeting, but I don't want to be a traditional worshiper. Is he allowed?
You are allowed to be what you like to be, but there's nothing wrong in being a traditional worshiper. As an African, you need first to identify yourself as an African. You are not going to be an Israelite or Arabian.
All right.
The blood in your vein is an African.
Is African.
So there's nothing wrong if you claim yourself as an African.
My last question for you before we go for today is, are you bothered? Are you worried that our values, greetings in Yoruba land, we are losing it gradually? The greeting of kneeling for elders by the women, prostrating for elders by the women, helping elders when elders are carrying load. Some of those things, it's been eroded. Are you worried, sir?
The enemy that we have that gives us that problem is modern religion. You discover that some of the religion sector teach the children not to bow, not to prostrate to their elder. We are not in Israelite, we are not in Arabian.
So what should we be doing?
We need to respect our culture. Yoruba people, if you see your younger sister or younger brother who did not prostrate for you, you're not going to like him. When you see the one that prostrate for you, there's nothing sin. It's not a sin. If it is in another country, they don't do that. We don't mind. This is what God gave us,
and we need to
in
do
our
that.
land.
All right, and it's been an explosive one this morning. We have been speaking with an high chief. He's a high priest of Ifa, traditional worshiper par excellence, and of course the Araba, of this particular great land of Oshogbo. And of course, he's a poet, he's a drama person, he's a lecturer in different universities and institutions of learning. I Chief Ifayemi Elebubo. Thank you for coming, sir.
You are so welcome.
You. Thank you very much. And all of us here, we appreciate what you are doing. And thank you for coming. And that will be the sense of the program for today. You've learned, I'm sure you've learned what you didn't know, or you have been reminded of what you should continue to do. Culture and tradition is our way of life. Make sure you do the right thing. You can have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel on Western Spring TV. Western Spring TV, and it's also on our Facebook, Instagram, and X account at Western Spring Television. We will be back for the TGF edition tomorrow. Femi Ojo is my name. Have a very great day. God bless Nigeria.